Hello. How you folks doing out there? Are y'all going to watch the presidential debate here in about an hour? Y'all watching that? Hope you'll give us a little of your time. We can go on for about an hour, and then y'all can duck out, and y'all can. Oh my God, what is that? That's my cell phone. You can watch the debate. Trump and Biden are going to go at it, and yeah, I'm kind of interested in seeing some of that. I'm sure I've got several streaming services and such, and I can go back and rewatch stuff. And you know, I don't talk politics, so I'm not going to talk politics, but should be interesting. Having said that, let me add my sister Kathy here. Here she is.
Hello.
Hello. Just got a message from Jake that he's going to be watching the debate with his daddy. So
Oh, okay, that's
he
cool.
won't be joining us tonight. But and I don't know if he sent you the message. He may send
No,
you the message too. But he's got
no.
a. Hang on, let me find what he sent me. But he invited you and me both to it. But hang on. Hi Jay, I might watch the debate with my dad, but I wanted to see if you and maybe Kathy wanted to join me and my friends Scott and Chris from the Meet Us in the Man Cave podcast. I made a list of 13 summer horror movies, and I think it'd be cool to compare lists and talk about the movies. So asked
Oh,
him when it would be, and he said it either Saturday or Sunday. He has to figure out what the approximate date's going to be.
oh yeah, I dig that. You know what I'm saying?
We'll await his word on that. But I said, yeah, sure, that sounds cool.
Sounds like fun, don't it? Yeah, I had a busy day because I don't like to have to get up early, but I had to get up early. So I've been running around getting stuff done, and I had to go pick up my insulin, and I got a free ride to do that. And then I Ubered over to the from Walgreens to HUB, no, Walmart, and went to the eye place and got me some new glasses ordered. I would rather stare at the wall. That, thank you, Ben. Me too. Me too. Yeah, no. Or watch that.
I think on kind of like just like I don't know, kind of like stopping and watching a car crash or something like that. Just to watch two worthless individuals go at each other.
Well, what's so funny about it is they knew what would happen again if they try to put them together. So if it's not your time to speak, they're muting. Where they got control of
Yeah, and
muting their microphones.
there's no audience this time, and yeah, like I say, I have kind of just a passing interest in just seeing what they're going to say, and uh, I like to say I don't talk politics because I don't understand politics. That's why I don't understand.
Yeah, now I'd rather watch paint dry.
I think Joe Biden is one of the most worthless presidents ever to hold office.
Well, you don't talk politics now, you said.
But having said that, if I have to blow him to get him reelected, I'm on my knees in a heartbeat. I'm a straight man, but if that's what has to happen, well, okay, Joe, spit or swallow.
That's funny.
But having said that, I think he's just absolutely worthless as a president. He's just, oh God, there's someone sending me messages.
Hang on. You don't talk politics. But
I don't, and that's all the politics I'm going to talk.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now this is Jake again. Would you and Kathy, if she wants to join, be available on this Sunday? So should I tell him yes for you?
Yeah. I need to know what time.
Yeah. And I'll say yes. Just need to know the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't talk politics. That's all the politics I'm going to talk. That's it. That's all. That's it for my politics.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me finish this message here.
Well, doggies.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I decided I was going to go to the grocery store and I was going to get some food and I wasn't going to look at prices. I was going to get what I wanted. That's a scary thing to do. But I really did better than I thought I did. I got, meat for the freezer and the basics and whatnot, thingamajig. And ended up totaling to 116. So I thought I got out pretty dang cheap compared to what I just did. I'm like, oh, I want some roast beef. I want this, that, and whatnot, right? And I got news that I am getting delivered. In fact, it was in Cypress, Texas yesterday, so it's headed this way to be a FedEx washing machine that stands on the floor. It'll hold 10 pounds of clothes. And it was given to me, sent to me via Amazon by our cousin Joy. I told her I had a washboard. I was washing.
Now how come she's like your best friend in the world now, and I haven't? She don't even know if I'm alive or dead.
No, I told you it's a lie.
What's the situation there? She ain't said 2 words to me. I thought she liked me at least as much as she liked you.
Oh no.
Apparently not.
I sent her the same cookies I sent to you.
To the woman, I ain't done a thing to the woman, but like I say, I ain't heard a word, not word one. I think she at least said, "Well, Jay, are you breathing?"
Well, let's do some background.
Your washing machines, and she's talking all this shit to you and showing you her kitten and all that.
Listen,
that's all right. It's okay.
Listen, I didn't have any kind of washing machine. Listen. We need to give the audience some background. She's our first cousin.
First cousin on my mama's side. It's my mother's sister's kid.
There you go.
Dorothy's
and
kid.
We're closer in age. We're closer in age. And I told her, she messaged me when April was in surgery Monday. Well, when my daughter's in surgery, you can't talk to me, right? I was getting, I got the best messages. And it's just one of those automated things they push when they're in. I got pushed when she was rolled in the operating room. I got pushed a message text to me that her operation was going well. I got another text to tell me where to go because the doctor's going to come out and consult with me. I got another text telling me where to go and at the hospital. I walked all over that place, Jay. I was give out. But anyway, to go, and they would take me back to her recovery room so I could be with her till she was able to get her pajamas, fancy pajamas back on her to get her home. You know what I mean? And I drove her home. But anyway, I text Joy, she texts me, I want to send you this washing machine. And I'm like, oh Lord. I said, Joy, I can't think of nothing right now. Can I get back with you and try to know my daughter's okay? And she's made through the surgery okay.
Well, now back to the subject of what in the world have you done that I haven't done that's got you in such favor with Joy when the woman don't even know if I'm breathing?
Well,
what have you done that I have? What do I need to do right to get on her good side or to even get on her side, period?
But anyway, so I sent her a message and I said, Joy, I hate for you to spend that kind of money because it's right under $200 with tax and everything, And she said, no, I want to do it if it's okay. And I said, well, yeah, it's okay. And she said, I want to make your life easier.
Well, she ain't making my life easier.
I said, bless you, honey.
Say, what's the deal? Maybe you could subtly say, Joy, I've got a brother. I'm not sure if you remember, Jay.
You remember? She always loved you.
He might want a hello. You're sending me washing machines and you're sending me messages and showing me your kitten and all this. Jay might want to, you eat shit and die. You can say that too. Just at least say something.
Well, anyway, so I said, well, I appreciate it. She sent me that pure picture and she sent me a real nice one of them triple layered,
she sent you all kinds of shit.
But I sent her something first.
Well, let's but let me read this message first. I don't want to talk about Joy no more. Hey, y'all, watching straight from the devil's armpit at the South, hotter than hell. Oh, you shut up.
We are too.
I love you to death, but don't talk to me about hot. The heat index in this area is 110 friggin' degrees. So don't, what is hot to you? Oh, it's 85. Oh, my God. What's hot to you? Oh, my God. It's 90 degrees. Oh, my God. It's not. Yeah.
Jay had a bookstore for
110 fucking degrees.
Let me tell on you. Jay had a bookstore for several years, and people would come in the bookstore in the summertime and say, "It's hot," and Jay said, "It's summer." It's irritating him so bad.
The thing about that is, it's one thing if you're getting someone that's like out of town or maybe from another state. Oh my God, it's hot here, yeah. But what I hear is just people that have been living here their whole fucking life, and every time this time of year they go, God, it's hot, isn't it hot? Yes, it's July in fucking Texas. Yes.
Wait. Hold and the sun, the heat out there says here, hold my beer. I'm about to get hotter.
Yeah. Well, he's in Louisiana, so.
Hey, we're gonna give it to you.
All right, I'll give you. It gets hot in Louisiana. Okay.
Well, anyway,
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I hear people say, "Oh God, it's 90 degrees." Oh my God, you hear these different states, and they're all
90.
Oh God, it's 95, and it's 120 here. Shit. You can literally bake a cake in your mailbox. Fuck.
You put cookies. You can buy them cookies. Hi, Ben. You 83 in Georgia right now. I'm jealous.
83 degrees. Shit. I'd be out there naked.
Yeah.
Just like I'm in here. Naked.
You can take a tray and get some frozen cookies. That are individual, and take them out of the package and pop them on and put them on your dash. This time of year, they'll bake. You get in the car, you'll smell.
That's no bullshit. There's no bullshit.
No, that's true.
Frying an egg on the sidewalk, you can literally do that in Texas.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I've teased you long enough. I said one last thing.
I don't want to talk about Joey no more. I mean, back in the day, Joy loved me. There's pictures of me holding me like a baby,
yes,
baby and stuff. I was just like, Princess Jay. I was just like her favorite little nephew. And now she's sending you damn dishwashers and clothes washers and pictures to and food and shit. And I ain't had not one fucking word from her in 5 years.
Well, we're closer in age, I think that's all it is. Hey, listen, can I start the music?
If it's not, I
got to show you something real quick, and then we'll start the music. Okay.
We'll talk about music.
Okay. April, and then went to that Kalahari resort, so the kids could do the indoor. Wait, let me get back the screen. I can't ever do this, Jack Carlton. There it is, right there. See, it's a sea turtle, and I can. The card comes with it, and I go on my laptop, and I can track this turtle. I can track a turtle in the ocean.
Oh.
April got it for me when they took the kids to the Kalahari Resort in Round Rock, 3 miles from where they live. It's cooled down more. Oh, look, 91. We had our first rain today in about 6 weeks.
Well, we're done with the rain. It actually rained in a few places today, pretty close by. But
really?
Yeah, we didn't get any. A few little spotty showers. And then today was supposed to be it. I mean, that's the only day. But yeah, there was. And I was watching the map and saw little spotty showers. It got pretty close, but I don't think we ever got any.
Okay. See these? See this bracelet? There's an orange and white one, and there's a blue and white one. Your great niece Dot made them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, and they're stretchy, so you might hit her up.
She made me that. I ordered some more because I got these things on my ankle, and I've got metal things and anklets are called, the things that Dot
I thought about you, so I had to
got another package coming Oh, probably around the first. Another Timu pack and I ordered some more. So I'm going to have just all up and down my ankle.
My, I'm gonna have to be careful because every time I get a TV package in, I turn right around or something else.
Yeah, well, I'm always loading up the
Cart.
shopping cart, and I'm ordering one of them. And it's a little fan. It's about $10. I haven't ordered it yet. I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not. But yeah,
So
it's
I'm
like,
gonna. If you're ready, I'm gonna kick it off.
okay, yeah, you kick it off. So okay, let's do a little preface here. I call this technically our second music show because we did one, but the internet shut off on us. And so we did another one the next day. I called both of those shows part one.
Okay.
Now, and we'll do at least a part three. But
Okay.
So this is part two, and Kathy Bradshaw is going to start us off.
Did you like my commercial
Your commercial.
on Facebook about the upcoming show tonight?
I don't think I saw the commercial. I saw that you made a post, but I didn't know it was a commercial.
Yeah, if you click on it, when you see the post, I go, if you click on it, I advertise tonight's show. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I sent it to you. Listen, let's discuss Capitol Records released this in 1976. Who doesn't like Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet
Silver
Band?
Bullet Band.
Okay.
My favorite, to interrupt you, my favorite Bob Seger song, and there's several of them that I really like, but it's Like a Rock.
Yeah, and on here it's Rock and Roll Never Forgets. Night Moves, I like Night Moves. The Fire Down Below, I like all of these.
Yeah,
Sunburst, Sunspot Baby, Main Street, Come to Papa. I really like that one. It was digitally remastered. Ship of Fools, Mary Lou. And anyway, I listened to this a lot when I was a teenager. This was actually released, well, I was a young adult, 1976 was the original. So, okay.
I've got a Mist fan, but it's not working good. I'm going to get another one, but I've worn it out. But I've got a Mist fan. And well, no, not what you're talking about. What I'm talking about is called I don't know what it's called. Anyway, it's a little fan, and you pour water in it. You can pour cold water. You can put ice cubes in it, and it mists water at you. I've got one, but I've worn it out, so I need to get another one that I put beside my bed when I go to bed at night.
Subjective. My aunt and uncle had them window fans, and my uncle, they were like water fans. And he would take and go get a half a bag of ice from the store and pour it in the bottom of that water fan, and it would heat and cool the bedroom at night in Fort Worth when I went to visit.
Daddy in his shop, had a big old fan. Man, that was a huge fan.
Yeah.
And a big old metal fan. That thing could chop you all up. You would get caught in that damn thing. Get an arm in there, they'd just suck you in and chop you up. But anyway, he would as I remember, he had like a pan of water in front of it that it would, it would circulate water through it. You know, during these crazy hot days, he'd be out there in that shop, doing woodworking and stuff, and had this big old fan.
Well, your turn. If you want to go ahead
okay. Well, that's a good choice. Let's talk about Bob Seger again for a little bit.
I love Bob Seger.
Like say, like a rock, like a rock. I was proud as I could be, like a rock. That's my favorite song, but there's so many that he did that I really like. But that was it Old Time Rock and Roll?
Rock and Roll Never Forgets.
Yeah, well, that's another one. But he also said, he's taking old records off the shelf. I'd rather listen to them by myself. Anyway, I'm going to start with some people never have seen such a thing. They don't even know what this is. This is called a 45. And it played one song per side, had two songs per side. And on your record player, you had this little thing that you'd put in on your spindle so that you could play your 45s.
Mhm.
and you turn the speed up on your turntable up to 45 revolutions per second or per minute or whatever. But anyway, this is "Come On Eileen" by Dexy's
Come
Midnight.
on, Eileen. Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun,
yeah.
dun.
That's what the 45 is.
Aw. And it had what the way when they pressed them, they would say, okay, this is A side, which is usually more popular, and then
Yeah.
they had one for B side.
And the B side is "Let's Make This Precious." So
Yeah.
yeah. "Come On Eileen" and "Let's Make This Precious."
And a
Dexy's
lot.
Midnight.
Yeah.
And anyway, and I even still got the little slip cover here. So
Oh, isn't that sweet?
so
Yeah.
Dixie's Midnight Runners. Yeah. "Come On Eileen." So
Come on, Eileen.
anyway, the first group I'll talk about, and one of my favorite movies of all time is Apocalypse Now, Francis Ford Coppola. Takes place during Vietnam. It's based on an old story called Heart of Darkness. And, Martin Sheen and Marlon Brando, all fat and bald, and up there in the jungle. He's lost his mind, this old colonel. And so, anyway, Martin Sheen's going down the river to find Marlon Brando and basically assassinate him. But anyway, the beginning of Apocalypse Now, you have these helicopters flying over the jungle in slow motion.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And they drop napalm, and you get these huge fire explosions coming up. And you get this song that comes up that's playing during the opening of Apocalypse Now. This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end, my only friend, the end. And there's so many songs by the Doors that I could name. You know, break on through to the other side. Then let's see, "Light My Fire," "Come On Baby, Light My Fire." "The Crystal Ship," "People Are Strange When You're a Stranger." "Strange Days," "Love Me Two Times, Baby," "Love Me Twice Today," "Love Me Two Times, Girl." 5 to 1, "Waiting for the Sun," Spanish Caravan, "When the Music's Over," "Hello, I Love You, Won't You Play My Game?" "Hello, I Love You."
Telling your name. Right?
"Roadhouse Blues," "L.A. Woman." Oh God, I love "L.A. Woman." Yeah, that one of my favorite songs ever, not just by the Doors, but just ever. Period. It's called "Riders of the Storm." Riders on the Storm.
Yes, I love that.
When it starts, you hear thunder and lightning. And then you hear this bass, doom, 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 doom. And you hear Jim Morrison come in, "Riders on the Storm, Riders on the Storm." And it's kind of very slow moving in that bass. And what's his name? I forgot who the anyway, the guy that played the keyboards also played bass. And the way he did it was on the keyboard. When you hear that doom, 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 doom,
Yeah.
actually him at the keyboard making that bass sound. And it's some kind of, effect that he could make on the keyboard. He could make the bass. And so usually when he was doing the keyboard sounds, doing the piano sounds, he was also doing the bass sound. But anyway, yeah, "Riders of the Storm," just one of my all-time favorite songs. "Come on, come on, come on now, touch me, baby. Won't you love her madly? Won't you be her daddy?" "Love madly," "The Unknown Soldier," and then the song I spoke about, the beginning of Apocalypse Now, the end. "This is the end, beautiful friend." So many songs. One of the most charismatic leaders of a group ever, Jim Morrison. Was, yeah, it was hard to get more charismatic and more of a just someone that really just stole the show when he performed, Jim Morrison. And of course, he drank himself to death and drugs and all that.
Well, did he drink? I didn't know how he died. Isn't he in Paris or London buried over there?
I think it was an alcohol overdose. He drank too
Uh,
much. Yeah, he was found dead in the bathtub by his girlfriend or something at the time.
Alcohol poison, it'll get you.
Alcohol poisoning, I think.
Yeah,
Or drugs, but there was drug. Of course, he took a lot of drugs too. But I think it was alcohol that finally did it for him. So. But yeah, the Doors, just one of the best groups ever. One of the best rock groups ever to form. Great musicians all around, just all of them. Great, just everything. And of course, Jim Morrison is just one of the greatest frontmen of all time for a rock group. So anyway, that's the first group I'll bring up. And okay, sis, what you got?
Well, you probably don't, but I send you stuff and you ought to watch it. It's pretty interesting sometimes. But I ran across Phil Collins talking about how he came up to record In the Air Tonight, how he wrote it, actually.
Yeah, I think I might have watched that.
It was really interesting. He said he did.
And he says, where people wonder, well, what's it about? He says, I don't know what it's about.
No,
he says, I just wrote words down as I was, had the tune in his head or whatever, or was writing the song and just wrote words down. He said the words really mean nothing.
And I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs.
That's one of my favorite songs ever. I'm not even a huge Phil Collins song.
I am.
But that song is one of the all-time greatest. And the way that you don't even get those epic drums that come in until like over halfway into the song.
He was originally a drummer.
Oh yeah,
and then
he was with Genesis.
They needed a singer one time, so he said, "Oh, I'll give it a try."
Well, it started off with Peter Gabriel as the lead singer in Genesis, and Phil Collins was the drummer.
Right.
Well, when Peter Gabriel vacated, they needed a lead singer, and Phil Collins stepped up.
I tell you what, we all go through emotions at different times, but the song that he has that carried me through quite a bit when I filed for divorce was "I Don't Care No More." I love that song by Phil Collins.
It's called "Sue Sue Studio."
I did that one too. I like that one too. Yeah.
And there's several songs I like, but "In the Air Tonight" is one of the greatest.
It really is.
Ever, period. But just by anybody. It's one of the greatest rock songs ever recorded.
And for him to say it, I really didn't even, I just was thinking of the words and they just came out. And I'm thinking, woo, you did good, dude.
Like say people kept bugging him. Well, what does it mean? What is it about? It's not about anything.
Yeah.
He said he literally says, I don't know what it's about. Yeah.
And this is not Phil Collins. This is my main one I want to talk about. I just wanted to see if you saw that, because when I'm doing this research, I ran across something really cool. Yeah, this is George Michael. Faith. You got to have faith. Yeah. I want your sex, baby. 1 and 2. One more try. Hard day. Hand to mouth. Look at your hands. Monkey. Kissing a fool. And then Hard Day again. It's a Shep Pettibone remix. And A Last Request, I Want Your Sex Part 3. I love George Michael. I loved his music. It's held out.
Yeah, I like that song. I like I Want Your Sex. And I like a few of his songs.
Father figures on here. Faith. You gotta have faith. Yeah, I like that one too. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I have sinus issues with this heat, and I was in and out of it quite a bit for about 4 hours.
And he was, of course, in the group Wham.
Yeah.
Wham.
Yeah. But thank you, ma'am.
Okay, no, good choice. And I'm glad you brought up In the Air Tonight, because that's one of my Yeah.
I
One of
know
the best
it was.
in the year.
And, and when I ran across him talking about how that came to be, I said, "Oh, Jay's got to have this."
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Well, the next
wait,
video.
wait.
Huh?
Melissa sent a message and said her and Tim are watching us. They're just a little behind. Hi, y'all. Welcome.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, I know y'all want to watch the debate, but we've got another 30 minutes before they start bitching at each other.
So let's have fun, and we'll watch. One of them's going to act like a little kid when the microphone's off and be jumping around and stuff. That'll be
Well,
fun.
they said they've got they can mute them this time.
Well, I know that, but you mute
cut 'em
one of
off.
them, and they're not going to like it.
And yeah.
I love it.
He's not supposed to be able to act a fool like last time, but we'll see. Anyway, here's subjective perspective. His opinion of the debate is look at that face he's made there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We were laughing. Jay was just talking almost like a parody about it tonight, and I said, "No, now remember you said you weren't going to talk."
I don't like I don't,
politics.
really, I don't understand politics, and honestly, I think we're in the day and age now where it really doesn't matter who's president anymore.
Yeah.
Even if, God forbid, even if that man is reelected, I don't think it's going to make a damn.
No, it didn't hurt us too bad last time. But then again, I don't take sides, and I don't just discuss religion, politics, and religion.
I don't think so. I don't care. Even if Joe Biden is reelected or Donald Trump is reelected, I don't think it makes any difference. I really don't. I think we're just in an age now where they don't have hardly any power at all. They're just powerless.
Listen, I get passionate about one thing in my life, people: food.
Yeah. Well, but let's talk about Van Halen.
Okay.
Let's talk about Van Halen because I mean, man, particularly during the 1980s, this for me was the group, Van Halen, and old David Lee Roth as the lead singer. And there's some people that absolutely hate David Lee Roth. He was a teetotal asshole. I'll admit that he was a total prick, but he was one of the most entertaining rock singers there was David Lee Roth. And as the front man for Van Halen, I think he was great, because there's a lot of rock singers that are assholes. Come on, most of them are assholes, but he was a great and entertaining asshole, David Lee Roth. But anyway, and of course Eddie Van Halen, that guitar work is just an amazing guitarist. He would play the neck, he had I think, was he left-handed? Maybe someone could speak up. Was David Lee Roth? Eddie Van Halen, was he left-handed? But anyway, he had a very unique playing style. Way he played the guitar was very unique. And he would do that. But anyway, yeah.
Well,
Van Halen,
his son Wolfie. Boy,
his son can play.
He is very good.
Yeah. I've seen some concert stuff, but his son really can play.
Danny
Carlin. He passed away a few years ago. Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, sure did.
And but one of the greats, Van Halen, and like I say, during the early to mid '80s, this for me was the group, Van Halen. And the original lineup with David Lee Roth. So, So yeah. Okay, sis.
You ready? Let's go to Super Hits 1972. And I love this because I drove a yellow Volkswagen. Remember when I was driving that yellow Volkswagen? Three Dog Night, black and white.
Oh man.
Yeah. Jim Croce. You don't mess around with Jim. Johnny Nash, I can see clearly now.
The rain is gone. Yeah.
Let's go to Al Green. I'm still in love with you. And then Gilbert O'Sullivan, Alone Again, Naturally.
Yeah.
And then Gallery saying, Nice to be with you. It's so nice to be with you. Remember that? Rick Nelson, And the Stone Canyon Band sang Garden Party. Seals and Crofts, Summer Breeze. Don't make us feel fine, it's hot. Okay. Lobo sang I'd Love You to Want Me. Climax, Precious and a Few. America sang that year A Horse with No Name. Looking Glass sang Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. Yeah, what a good wife you will be, right? The Main Ingredient sang Everybody Plays the Fool sometimes. I love this one. Now, this next one I really like. Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show. Sylvia's mother said, yeah, Sylvia can't come to the phone, but he knew better. The Shy Light sang, Oh, Girl. Danny O'Keefe, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues. Billy Paul, Mr. Me and Mrs. Jones. Matt Davis, Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me. I got two more. Nielsen, Without You. And then one of my favorite groups, the Moody Blues, sang Nights in White Satin. Ooh.
Nights in White Satin.
That one gets me every time. There you go.
'Cause I love you.
Yeah. Letters I've written, never meaning to send, you know. Yep.
That's some good ones there. You know, maybe you mentioned a Three Dog Night, get your motor running.
Yeah. Highway. You know, for us to can't sing, we do pretty good.
Poeta comes our way, born to be wild. And part of the lyric of Born to Be Wild.
1984 was my first VH cassette tape. Oh,
1984. I got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. I'm hot for teacher.
Listen, let's go back to cassette. I was still listening to 8-tracks in my day.
Yeah, me too. I had an 8-track stereo. I had an 8-track recorder. You can get blank 8-tracks recorded. So anyway, back to Three Dog Night. And then there is, and forgive the language, but I love the song, God Damn the Pusher.
Yeah, that was good.
Damn the Pusher. But yeah, Three Dog Night's got some great songs. So let me go back here. Van Halen versus Van Hagar. I never cared for Sammy Hagar in Van Halen. There's a few songs I thought were okay. But I thought when Sammy Hagar joined Van Halen, it was just kind of generic sounding. Still great guitar work, Eddie Van Halen. But I thought Sammy Hagar as the front man was just not terrible, not great, just kind of middle of the road, just kind of all that's okay. You know?
Was it Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth that did California Girls? The West Coast.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But anyway, that is my opinion of that. I go David Lee Roth all the way we're back to subjective perspective, and he says 8 tracks. Yeah, my mom would play Air Supply and Crystal Gale.
Crystal Gale.
Crystal Gale.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Crystal Gale. She was live at Six Flags. We went to Six Flags in Crystal Gale.
Yeah. The very first concert I ever got to go to was at the State Fair, Texas, and we saw the Cow Seals. Johnny had to take me and Donna because we was like 12.
So, okay, now I was alive when this went on, but of course I wasn't there. But anyway, Woodstock. And it's the last day of Woodstock. Now, half or more of the people have already gone home. They've left Woodstock. They're drunk out of their mind. They're stoned out of their mind. They're worn out. It rained. They're naked and wet, cold and nasty. And they've had a great show and they've enjoyed all the singers, and they so okay, we gotta go home, man. I gotta get back. Me and my old lady gotta get back, man. So anyway, so all the hippies, half the hippies went home, but it's Sunday morning, I believe, and people are groggily getting up. They're sleeping in sleeping bags, or they're all covered and wet and dingy and dirty and sopping wet, and they're smelling, and and so they're waking up, and this man comes out and he plays the Star Spangled Banner on this guitar.
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. And go, if you have never seen it, I'm sure you probably have, but if you have never seen it, go to YouTube and find his version of the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock, and it will blow your fucking mind. He made that guitar sing. He did things with the guitar that nobody else had done at the time. Yeah. And then, Kathy's boyfriend, Prince, kind of perfected his style later
on. Let me tell you.
But at the time, in the 60s, Hendrix was the one that was doing it.
He was excellent.
He was doing things with the guitar that weren't done. He was making sounds with the guitar that no one else was making.
Didn't he do America? Didn't he do a version of America?
He probably did. He did that. What is it? The Bob Dylan song. There must be some kind of way out of here.
Said the junkie to the thief.
What was that? All Along the Watchtower. Okay. That was a Bob Dylan song. He did a version of that, and of course,
I like that song a lot.
Purple haze all through my brain. Acting funny, but I don't know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Yeah. And of course, like Jim Morrison, he died way too early. I don't know.
And Janis Joplin, she was there with Edward.
Janis Joplin. That's another one we can talk about. Is Janis Joplin? Jimi Hendrix, and the Jimi Hendrix. Was it the Experience? The album is "Are You Experienced?"
Yeah.
And this is their debut album. But anyway, Jimi Hendrix. So many songs. I'm a voodoo child, Lord, I'm a voodoo child. And that man, just what he would do with the guitar was just something to behold. And let's see. California Girls. Jimmy, the subjective says
it was David Lee Roth. Thank you. I love California Girls.
Sammy Hagar sang it, but I don't remember Sammy Hagar being involved in it.
No, I said, or was it one of the
anyway, and he also says Jimmy was a left-handed strumming master.
I thought he was a left-handed.
Yeah, I didn't know he was. But yeah, cool. Okay, Kathy.
Okay. Well, we're going to take it back to Air Supply. And I just got this in about a month ago because I got this little CD player. I'm like, I miss Air Supply. And you really can't find much of it online, on YouTube.
Well, so some Air Supply songs. So
I'm about to rock it. Empty Pages, Love and Other Bruises, Lost in Love, I Don't Know, I Can't Live Without It, Every Woman in the World, Chances, Here I Am Just When I Thought I Was Over You, The One That You Lose. There's some of these, Sweet Dreams Are Made of These.
Okay, yeah. Who am I to disagree? Well, that's a Eurythmics.
Well, I don't know, but Air Supply did it too. Even the Nights Are Better. Young Love, Two Less Lonely People in the World, Making Love Out of Nothing at All. That's a really good song by Air Supply.
I like that song.
Yeah. Just As I Am, The Power of Love, You and My Lady. And then Lonely Is the Night. That's another one they were real famous for. Okay, your turn.
Okay, well, for real quick, this isn't really my next choice, but since I have them here, I thought I'd show them. For people that you hipsters out there that are vinyl collectors, but you're getting all this new reissue shit. This is all original pressings, and I want to show it off. And Kathy's boyfriend. But anyway,
It's my man, 1999. I was dreaming when I wrote this, so sue me if I go astray. Yeah. I tell you what, he opens those two concerts we went to, April and I went to, my daughter. He opens the show, Jay, with Dearly Beloved. We are gathered here to get through this thing called life.
electric word life.
And
I'm here to tell you.
And he's on risers underneath the stage. And as he starts to sing that, he's coming up to the stage. And I'm just, she said, Mom, you look like a 15-year-old. First time you ever fell in love. I said, well, I wasn't 15 back in 2004, but.
But Out of Love was the one I remember the most from Aerosmith.
Yeah, all out of love. So lost without you. I just like Aerosmith.
This one, and I'm sticking with her boyfriend here. His only, to my knowledge, his only double album.
Well, it's not the only one.
Around the world in a day.
Yeah. He put out Crystal Ball, which is my second Prince tattoo. Is Crystal Ball. That was the logo on it that he had. It was a lot like like a sign, but it's his other sign. And I'd never seen it. And I carried the album CD cover up there. I said, I need this on my leg. And the guy goes, well, it's another Prince symbol. I said, yeah, but it's not like the other one. And it's not. It's different.
So you got the look.
With Gina E.
What is it that your body's heck a banging or heck a slamming, or what's the
Oh yeah, Richter slamming.
But anyway, it's got
like on the Richter scale, you know.
If I was your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a extensive catalog of Prince music, y'all.
But anyway,
the
last final I will show, and this was Tim Burton, and he took the comic book version of Batman, had turned him with the Dark Knight, much more brooding, more serious than, of course, the campy 60s, version of Batman. And anyway, Prince.
Yeah, I think Lemon Drops on that album.
Let's see. The Future, Electric Chair, The Arms of Orion, Party Man, Dickie Waiting, Trust, Lemon Crush.
Lemon Crush. That's what I was thinking about. Lemon Crush. Yeah.
Scandalous and Back Dance.
Yeah. And there is on YouTube when he's actually, it shows him putting the music to the words to that. It's pretty cool. I like Back Dance a lot though. And there's a video of him where he's half Batman and he's half Joker.
Get the funk up.
There you go. Yep. Get it going.
Get the funk up. Anyway, I was at Sonic Drive-In, which is a drive-in restaurant for you people. I don't know if they got it outside of Texas, but
they might not. I don't know. Yeah.
But anyway, we've got a drive-in in Mexia. This was the old. We got it. They moved, but back then it was in a different location. And when I was at Sonic Drive-In, I was with my mom and dad, and I think I was in my dad's old red pickup. So his dad in the driver's seat, me in the middle, and mama on the shotgun. And this guy who's at it's a little thing you drive up. It's got a little speaker, and you order your food, and they bring it out onto a tray that you back in the day you would clip it onto your your window. You'd roll it down enough, and you would clip this tray onto your window. and that's where your food would be. Anyway, the guy next to us hollered over to us, "Hey, did you hear about Elvis?" No, he's dead. Oh, and it was just the most shocking thing in the world to hear that
Yeah.
Elvis died, 1977. To
Yeah.
hear Elvis die, and this is the first time I can remember watching television, watching the news in the evening, and seeing the funeral procession, and seeing women just running to the hearse and just grabbing the hearse and weeping and screaming and crying, because Elvis had died. Yeah, uh, that was such a tremendous thing. Elvis died.
I think it was
But
77, I think. Something
yeah,
like that.
he was overweight and
It was a
drinking.
drug overdose, is what got him, just like it got
Probably
Prince.
drug overdose.
No,
He,
it was. They said it was. Yeah.
he gained a lot of weight. He was heavy.
Well,
He
he's
did
taking a lot of pills. The pills will do
pills too, a lot
that.
of pain pills and such. But he was performing a lot in Las Vegas at the time. It's what he had a show in Las Vegas, was where mainly he performed during his later years. But anyway, talk about a performer. Talk about someone that's changed the face of rock and roll, changed the face of popular music. Elvis. I remember watching him when he would appear on television. I remember the Ed Sullivan Show, and because he was still doing it even when I was alive. Ed Sullivan. He did it up until like the early '70s, I think. Ed Sullivan.
Yeah, I
And
think so.
that was one of his
Tom Jones.
one
He
of
did
his
Tom Jones show.
guests was Elvis. Now
Yeah.
I didn't see him doing the hip shake and all that. I was way too young for that. But I remember him being many times appearing, singing, Elvis, appearing on the Ed Sullivan Show and
I
many.
like his movies. I like the Elvis movies that he did.
Yeah, he did a whole bunch of movies. Yeah, he did a bunch of movies. But yeah, as a performer, he was groundbreaking. He was, because when he first appeared on the scene, we're talking late 50s, early 60s, and this whole hip gyrating and shit like that was like, he caused this huge scandal. It's like, he was in league with the devil. The mothers were like, oh God, look at him doing the hip shaking and wiggling his hips and shit. But yeah, Elvis. I mean, think of all the songs that he sang. I really liked his gospel stuff. I've got a gospel.
I've heard to say now, he put out some I wasn't a huge Prince. I loved him, but I wasn't a huge Elvis fan. But his gospel, oh my gosh, all of his gospel songs are wonderful.
I've got a CD of just this gospel, Elvis gospel, and some really good stuff. But yeah, that eventually, if we're going to do a music show, we got to bring up Elvis. So,
Well, yeah, we do. My favorite Elvis song is Jailhouse Rock, and You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. Elvis died exactly a month to the day before I was born, August 16th. Yep. Subjective.
that makes me 100, makes me feel 125. But anyway, Hound Dog.
Yeah, Hound Dog. That's my second favorite of his, not
Right
counting
all
the
the
gospel. I loved it.
You ain't never caught a rabbit, and you ain't no friend.
Ain't no friend of mine.
Okay, sis, what have you?
Let's take it back to The Who.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, The Who was a very big part of my coming up. I love their music. My generation, talking about my generation, right? Happy Jack, I Can See for Miles and Miles, and Magic Bus, Pinball Wizard, come on.
Oh yeah.
Squeeze Box. Mama's got a squeeze box she wears on her chest. I think that's it.
And Daddy Never Sleeps at Night.
There you go. Behind Blue Eyes, Who Are You? Join Together. Won't Get Fooled Again. I like that one too. Won't Get Fooled Again. Okay.
Well, yeah. Oh gosh. Well, we could do half
The
the show.
Who. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
Another very influential, one of the greatest rock groups ever. Of course, Pete Townsend. That thing he did with the guitar, and then smashing the guitars at the end of the concert. They would smash. He would
Yep.
smash his guitar and smash it on the drum set and all that, and just wreck everything. And I remember hearing Pete Townsend talk about that when he would did that pinwheel thing with his hands, the strumming
Yeah.
the guitar. It would rip his fingernails off. So he said pretty much at the end of every concert he would have no fingernails, like that, just from here to here, nothing. He would have no fingernails. It'd be
Gross.
doing that, ripped his fingernails off. So he had to grow them back, had to bandage them up, grow his fingernails back for the next concert or whatever, or but yeah, he said that ripped his fingernails off doing that thing with his hand. But oh my God, yeah, there's so many songs about, and of course, Tommy, the album Tommy,
Yeah.
and Won't Get Fooled Again.
Yeah, I like that one. You okay?
And that thing with that, and then Roger Daltrey,
Yeah.
another great frontman, great singer, Roger Daltrey. But yeah, we could talk on and on about the Who. But yeah, one of the
Yeah. I mean, I like Magic Bus, and in my generation, I mean, my gosh, just about every one of these on here.
and Subjected asked me if the Who did Pinball Wizard. Yes, and that's from
Yes,
Tom,
they did.
Pinball Wizard.
Yeah.
And also Elton John did a great version of Pinball Wizard.
Yeah, he did. But the
They brought
Who,
Elton John up in the last show, but yeah.
this is the Millennium Collection 20th Century Masters of the Who, and they I think they were the original that did Pinball Wizard.
Yeah,
And then,
well, like I say, it's from Tommy.
Well, yes, but they did it in a first.
Oh,
A lot of people have redone it, Okay, your turn.
okay. Well, I'll bring this. This is one of their later albums, but of course, I got to bring up Fleetwood Mac.
I loved Rumors.
And of course, Rumors is probably their most popular album. I think it's one of the best-selling albums of all
Oh my
time.
gosh! Fleetwood Mac.
I want to say
Stevie.
Pink Floyd's "Dark Side of the Moon" was number one for many years.
Yeah.
That it was a Michael Jackson's Thriller, but I think Rumors held the top position for many.
I'm telling you, come on now.
And
what's on that album?
on this one, this was made in the early '80s.
Well, I know.
It's
But
got the Big Love, Talking About Love, Big Love, Seven Wonders, Everywhere. I really like this album though. Caroline, Tango in the Night. That's the name of the album. Name of the album is Tango in the Night.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mick Fleetwood, Stevie Nicks,
I like Stevie Nicks stuff by herself too.
Lindsey Buckingham. Yeah. But anyway. As a solo artist, Stevie Nicks did a lot of great stuff.
Oh yeah, I had her CD all through when I was getting my little college degree. Boy, I played it.
Is it a solo or is it on the Rumors?
Well, I mean, no.
Rihanna?
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, love that song.
I always say Rihanna, but same principle. Yeah. I really loved her stuff. Yeah, Stevie Nicks, Subjective. Yeah. But she released a bunch of stuff that it was just her.
A lot of solo stuff.
Oh gosh, there's just so many on there.
Yeah,
I love them all.
We could go on and on about.
Gypsy, I love Gypsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess it's your turn.
Well, it always is because I'm special. No. Remember how we were talking about Nancy Wilson?
No.
Heart. I'm going to bring Heart back to us. Okay. This CD was put out. The original soundtrack was 1985. If Looks Could Kill. What About Love? I can't sing, so I won't try. But What About Love? Never. These Dreams. Nope, can't sing These Dreams. The Wolf, All Eyes, Nobody Home, Nothing at All, What He Don't Know, and Shell Shock. Now, Shell Shock's a really good song. If you haven't heard, Heart. Capitol put it out. Okay, your turn.
Okay. Well, now, here's another one. Was a big deal to me for the early 80s. But I tell you, when I have Alexa play my favorite music list in the mornings when I do my push-ups, there's a lot of this group in the mix. And I think they started off heavily electronic influence, a lot of electronic keyboards and electronic sounds. Then they got more into where they bring other instruments and actually bring in horn players and stuff like that. But they started off really kind of electronic, very kind of low key sounding, but really cool sounding music. And of course, the lead singer Annie Lennox.
Eurythmics. Yeah, yeah.
Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart. And one of the first songs that really got me from Eurythmics, and I still love that song, is "Love is a stranger of a day, take you in and leave you far behind, 'cause I love you and I love you." Oh no, I want you. That's it. I want you so it's an obsession.
I never was a big fan, but
Oh,
I mean,
I'm huge though. Eurythmics.
I can see where the appeal is. I've listened to a little bit of them.
This is got the "Don't mess with the missionary man."
Yeah.
Don't mess with the missionary man. Missionary man, he's got God on his side.
You better be
The
careful.
saints and apostles backing up from behind. Black-eyed look from them Bible books. He's a man with a mission, got a serious smile. Yep. Anyway, Eurythmics. I love the Eurythmics. Yeah. Okay. Now, first time I saw this group was on Saturday Night Live. And I've always liked, I don't know if I brought this group up. I might have brought this up during the vinyl show. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see.
Pink Floyd
Pink Floyd
Animal
album. The song Dogs. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll certainly talk about Pink Floyd here pretty soon.
Jay's a huge Pink Floyd fan.
I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. And Heart was a childhood crush. So
yeah, subjective. I tell you, I just love Heart. I mean, when they harmonize, I love to hear people that can harmonize together.
But anyway, it's Saturday Night Live back in the old days of John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd and that group. And this is the musical guest. And the first thing you see is this guy with this mask. And the mask looks like a little kid, like a little boy. And he's wearing this mask. And he's running up these steps. And this man meets him in this building, said, "Hello, Boogie Boy, you're late. Did you bring the note that Chinaman gave you?" And he says, "Yes, Dad. It's a surprise. Yes, Boogie. Now the truth can be told. Every man, woman, and child will know the truth about de-evolution." And the guy in the kid mask goes, "Oh, Dad, we're all Devo."
Oh, Devo! I thought,
where
is
is playing the Rolling Stones song, "I Can't Get No Satisfaction," but it sounds nothing like Satisfaction. You hear these drums, and this, singer, who I later learned was Mark Mothersbaugh, was the lead singer, and Jerry Casale played bass. His brother Bob Casale played keyboard and guitar. And this drummer is making this, and this lead singer, skinny guy, wearing this like a yellow suit. It's like plastic. It's like something you would see, prisoners out working in the fields or something. This yellow suit, yellow pants, plastic kind of yellow suit, and he's singing, "I can't get no satisfaction. No satisfaction. And I try, and I try, and I try. And he sings a very, very stiff, very kind of staccato way he's singing this, which if you ever heard, of course, the original, I can't get no sad, this mutated version of satisfaction. And I was in love from the get-go because I always liked just weird shit. I loved, David Bowie would do some weird stuff. And different groups would do some sort of weird stuff, Frank Zappa and such. But Devo was my jam from the very beginning. When I saw Devo on Saturday Night Live, I was just instantly in love. And this is their Oh No, It's Devo album from the early 80s. This is the one that's got Time Out for Fun, Peekaboo, Peekaboo, I can see you and I know what you do. Anyway, that's good. Everybody wants a good thing.
I got a Devo question for you. Where are they from?
They're from Ohio. And when they would perform a song from their first album called Jocko Homo, which is translated as Monkey Man. Jocko Homo. And during the song they would sing, I've got a rhyme that comes in a riddle. Oh, hi, oh. What's round on the end? High in the middle. Oh, hi, oh.
I had to ask.
And Jake is from Ohio.
And yeah, and a tribute to our co-host sometime, Jake. Yeah.
And Jake, I forgot to say, answered. Hang on, I got the answer about the time for this thing. Let me find that real quick.
And I'll look it up. Yeah.
But hang on just a minute.
Yeah, it takes me a little while to prepare for a show.
7 p.m. Eastern. So that'd be 6 p.m. our time.
Sunday. Okay.
So it'll be 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Sunday.
If they got a slot for me, jump in there with y'all. I'll jump in there.
So
I'll make me a little list.
And I guess he'll send us the links that we need for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And hang on.
We got a comment?
No more. I thought I was going to see if we did, but
okay. Well, listen, I like to find.
Just a minute. I want to hear just a quick clip here.
I know everybody else thinks the education comment on it. And the fact of the matter is that we find ourselves in a situation where
You'll get a copyright strike, Jay.
Eh.
Even though you're not.
Anyway,
even though
what I'm surprised about, just watching. Now, I haven't heard a single word of this, but just watching, Donald Trump is standing there going,
because he can't do nothing.
He's frowning. He's got a deep frown on his face, but he's just kind of. He's not interrupting. He's not
Politics to me are just about as interesting as standing out in my yard and talking to that tree.
Ordinarily, it would be to me too, but this is I find a little more interesting.
Yeah. Okay, my turn.
Okay, yeah, your turn.
I like to find these remixes. Sony BMG put this out, and I don't see a date on it, but there's some old school stuff on it. And it's Superstar's #1 hits. And it's got the first one's Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone. I really like that. Alicia Keys featuring Tony Tone. Diary. Maroon 5, This Summer? No, This Love. Let's see. Duran, Reach Up for the Sunrise. Let's see. Dido, White Flag. Kelis, Kelis, Milkshake. Britney Spears, Toxic. Now, I like Toxic. And I like a lot of different people have done it on YouTube, and I really like that song. Is this true? Mariah Carey, Dream Lover. Let's see. Jennifer Lopez, Waiting for Tonight. Christina Aguilera, another one of my favorite. singers is Christina, beautiful. Let's see, and I'm gonna go through all these. Tony Braxton, "Unbreak My Heart." Oh, that one gets me every time too. Okay.
Well, and subjective was it Jim? Yeah, I brought up "Animals" by Pink Floyd, which I love that album. And I love Pink Floyd up until Roger Waters left. I like some of the stuff after he left, but up until Roger Waters left, I love Pink Floyd. And I love Animals. You mentioned Animals. I love that album. That whole album I love.
Dogs,
I'm just going to show this particular album because I love the cover of this. Relics. I love it. Like this old,
it's different.
Mask or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah. Look at that. That's goofy.
Yeah. So I think those are just so cool. But this is early Pink Floyd stuff. The lead singer originally of Pink Floyd was named Sid Barrett. But basically he went insane with drugs drove him crazy.
Oh, that's sad.
That was real early in Pink Floyd's, lineup with Sid Barrett. So he had to leave. He lived for like a good 20, 30 more years, but he was like in a home or something like that for the mentally insane or something like that, had to be taken care of. Basically lost his mind, Sid Barrett. But Roger Waters, David Gilmour, great guitarist, great David Gilmour, also a really good singer. But of course, for the longest time, I don't know if it is now, Dark Side of the Moon was the best-selling album of all time. And it held that spot for like 20-something years or something. I don't know. Dark Side of the Moon. And which got Money and, so many great songs. Just that whole album. And, of course, The Wall, Pink Floyd, The Wall. But, Pink Floyd. One of the best. British group. And let's see. Okay. I'm going to show this. I think we've already brought up the Beatles, but I found the.
Is that Sgt. Pepper? I can't see. It's kind of glaring.
Well, I've got a plastic cover on it.
I know. That's why I can't see it.
I could retire to the promise if this was the original, but it's not an original.
You've been to? I ain't ever been. You want to go?
Yeah. But anyway, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And I'm trying to think who all's on this cover. I think Marlon Brando's on here. I think Elvis is on here. Marilyn Monroe's on here. All these people behind them that you see. You can pick out a whole bunch of famous people back there. Yeah. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And they let Ringo sing with a little help from my friend.
Yeah, and he did good.
He did good.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got that CD. Yeah.
I know we've already talked about the Beatles, one of the greatest.
The Beatles pretty much introduced me to rock and roll when I was a kid.
And, of course, one of the best ever, the Beatles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to bring no one knows who this is. There's not a single person that's going to know who this is, except for, and I don't even know if Kathy knows who this is. But anyway, he was a cousin of my daddy's. I don't know how he was related to him, but he was Daddy's cousin.
Macaulay.
He played steel guitar.
Yeah.
And me and my friend Mark would do these little radio show kind of things for ourselves. And we had this show called the Knopfroth Saga. And I played the fat woman named Martha. Martha, she talked like that. Damn it, John. And John, her husband was John. He had a real high-pitched voice. He was a very squirrely guy. Mark played John. I played Martha. And they would go to the bar, and Martha would go to the bar and drink heavily, drink a lot of beer. She smoked cigars and drank beer. And always playing at the bar was Jody McCall.
Jody McCall. Yeah. He He played with Willie quite a
He
bit.
played with a bunch of famous people. He played with Willie
Yeah.
Nelson. He played, yeah. And
Yeah.
he's actually in the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yep. And that's our cousin. Second or third, but
But
still.
that is called a steel guitar.
Yeah.
That he's playing, and that was his instrument. But anyway, and the back here it says, "To my cousin Junior Reel from Joni McCauley, reunion 1980."
Yep.
Reunion 1980. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but anyway, Grandma's Hill.
Yeah. A lot of bluegrass. He played a lot of bluegrass, different
Really
bands.
good.
Yeah.
But anyway, that steel guitar has that thing.
Yeah. I got a picture of him with Elvis. Elvis.
Yeah.
Willie.
Oh, well,
I got a picture of him with Willie.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
played with a bunch of famous people, and he was probably on episodes of like Hee Haw and stuff, playing in the background,
Probably. Yeah.
playing for other people.
Because he was an excellent musician.
Yeah. But yeah, Joni McCauley. So I wanted to bring up a very distant cousin of mine, Joni McCauley. So, and show that out. So, okay.
Ours. Of ours.
Yeah.
Okay. Now listen, we live in Texas. And if anybody saw my pre-show commercial, you'll know that I got to switch over and put on my white hat, cowboy hat, and talk a little country. We're going to talk a little country, okay? He just did a big old concert and sold out the most seats in any stadiums in Texas that's ever been sold out.
Georgia Strait.
George Strait. I love him.
He just broke a record for the anybody, rock and roll or country.
Well, I don't know, but I know he definitely filled that stadium.
He had the most attendance of any performer, I think.
And this is The Road Less Traveled. I've got 5 of his CDs, all different music. Some of it is crossover, some. But one of my songs, there's several of his songs I really like. I like The Chair. Excuse me, but I think you've got my chair. But she didn't. It was just a come on. She'll Leave You with a Smile. And my very favorite that he did with Miranda Lambert, which is also one of my Texas gals I like to hear her sing. I got a couple of her CDs, is Run. He did a duet with her with the song Run. And it's so good. Stars on the Water, Living and Living Well, The Real Thing, Don't Tell Me You're Not in Love, The Road Less Traveled. Yes, there's the Middle of Nowhere, Good Time Charlie's, My Life's Been Grand. Now, also, like I said, he's got a huge catalog. I got CDs over CDs, but this is what I picked up. And I said, well, this is some of maybe his lesser known. And when he put it out, and he was quite young when he put this one out. But I got his George Strait 50 #1 disc and his 20th anniversary Millennium Collection. I got a bunch of his stuff because I live in Texas. But George Strait's my next on deck. Okay, your turn.
Well, here's another one that we could do a whole show and talk about just this group. But, oh God, just as a guitarist, Jimmy Page, an amazing guitarist, and kind of early, in some ways, sort of early heavy metal. Though they didn't get quite into heavy metal, but very hard rock. But they could do very ballads, very lovely, slow songs too, ballads. And the lead singer, Robert Plant, who could just, back in the early days, he could hit them high notes. Man, he could wail. Hey, woman, the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. And anyway, Led Zeppelin. And this is 3. And this is back in the day when, I've got it upside down. Okay, Led Zeppelin 3. This is back in the day when they would do really creative stuff with albums. This is the way you bought music. You bought vinyl records. And this has got a little wheel you can turn, and as you turn it, you see these different pictures appear in the holes here in the record. You see, you turned it, and
Isn't that cool?
you got these different pictures. They got creative with albums back in the day. Like I said, the Sticky Fingers album by the Rolling Stones had a zipper that you could pull down.
Mhm.
You know. But anyway, Led Zeppelin, and like I say, that's another one like the Beatles that we could go on and on and on about. Led Zeppelin, one of the greatest rock bands ever conceived to ever go out on stage. Led Zeppelin. So many great songs, but yeah. But anyway, wanted to bring up Led Zeppelin, and here you go. I've been doing mainly vinyl records, but I have some CDs. So hang on just a moment.
I'd say could. Listen, just an honorable mention. If you ever get a chance, look up Al Green.
Oh yeah.
He's got some good blues.
Oh yeah. And I'm trying to find if I have some vinyl. Surely I've got some vinyl somewhere, but when I was digging this morning, I couldn't find it. So I'll show the CD I've got. Bowie Legacy, which is a compilation that came out after he passed away. Bowie passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago. And another one of the all-time greats, David Bowie. One of his early hits, probably his first early hit was called Space Oddity. And, Ground Control to Major Tom.
Yep.
Commencing, countdown engines on. And, Space Oddity. But he would do things that he did a lot of experimenting with music, experimenting like sound effects and with the way that instruments played and keyboards, and he'd bring horns in and different instruments. He was an experimenter, David Bowie, but had some really great songs that everyone really liked. But he would do a lot of experimenting and do some things that were kind of off kilter, off key. He was an innovator, David Bowie. But there's so many songs I can mention here. Changes, of course, Life on Mars, Ziggy Stardust, which that album is just a great album, Ziggy Stardust. The Gene Genie, All the Young Dudes, Rebel, Fame, oh God, Fame, Golden Years, Boys Keep Swinging, Fashion, I love that song, Fashion, Turn to the Right, Fashion, Under Pressure, that
Oh yeah, I like that.
But yeah, Let's Dance, China Girl, Modern Love, Blue Jean, and a few years ago he put out an album, and the album, basically his last album, which God, what was the name of that album? Hang on. Anyway, the album was basically about his dying. He had cancer. He knew he had cancer, and he was basically making an album about dying. He that's how much of an innovator he was, that even when he knew he was dying, he said, well, I'm going to make an album about it. While I'm dying, I'm going to make an album about dying. It's a great album, great music. I think he died before it was actually released. Black Star. Yeah, that's the name of the album, Black Star. But yeah, one of the best singers there ever was, and some of the greatest music, David Bowie. So, yeah. Okay, sis.
Didn't you have this album, Prince of the Revolution, Around the World in a Day?
I think the first time I got it was on cassette. Someone mentioned cassette. I think
Well, what's on it is Round the World in a Day, Paisley Park, which I love it because it talks about all ages are welcome at Paisley Park. Bring your mama, bring your grandmama, Conditions of the Heart, Raspberry Beret, Tambourine. I liked how he did Tambourine.
I like that song.
And every time he did a concert, there's always tambourines with the bands, always have tambourines. America, Pop, Life, The Ladder. That's a very nice religious song. And then right after that, Temptation, which is kind of racist, but I like it. But anyway, that's one of them. And then I'll do one more Prince CD, and I'll hand it back to you because you did his albums and you covered some of his earlier stuff, like 1999, But let me get the date right. 2004, yeah. You go to Prince concert to see the Musicology tour in 2004, and as you go through, we'd already prepaid for our tickets, but they hand you this CD. And on the CD is Musicology, Illusion, Coma, Pimp, and Circumstance. That's one song. A Million Days. A real good one that to dance to is Life of the Party, Call My Name, Cinnamon Girl, What Do You Want Me to Do? Question mark. The Marrying Kind, If I Was the Man in Your Life, On the Couch. And a very kind of political one he did was Dear Mr. Man. And then the last one on here is Reflections. If you get a chance to get a hold of this, or even look up some of the songs on Musicology, it is excellent. But like I said, I don't want Prince pigeonholed with Purple Rain. I guess I'm such a huge fan of his that he did so much different music. He wrote jazz. He did some rap. He wrote pop music, that could be played on the radio. He wrote some music that's considered pop that can't be played on the radio. But this tour is the first tour that he did where he didn't cover any of the old song. He wrote all the new ones. Well, I think one or two, because he opened it with, Kiss and a couple of more. But he wanted people to be able to bring their children to this concert and see real musicians playing real music. He said there's not enough real musicians out there, So I love that he had that opinion about how he wanted this tour to go, and it went that way. We were part of his MPG Music Club, which basically April was actually. And so what you did was it's his first online experience where you could go and you join this club. It was like real cheap, like $39 or something like that. And you're the first ones that can buy tickets to any concerts. You're the first ones to get a lot of downloadable music that he releases through the club that is not released anywhere else. Just a lot of cool perks by being a member of this. And so we went to the box office to get our tickets at Will Call. And it just said G. And I'm like, well, how are we going to find G? And the couple in front of us, they were enamored. They're like, well, you're waiting in line to go in. And they're like, G, you're right on top of the stage. You're ground floor. It was in a big basketball stadium. And we were ground floor in San Antonio, right on top of him. And that was so cool. I mean, there's 2 or 3 times I could have reached up and touched the top of the stage if I wanted to. Of course, out of respect, I wouldn't. But anyway, that's a couple of Princes that people might not have heard of. Your turn.
Well, Beelzebub has got a devil set aside for me.
I believe it. Queen.
And talk about a performer, Freddie Mercury, once again. Talk about a performer that could just command the stage and make it his own. Freddie Mercury. And go once again, I have you searching YouTube. If you haven't seen it, go find his performance at Live Aid. Queen's performance at Live Aid. Now, Freddie Mercury died of HIV, died of AIDS. And I think he knew he had it when he had this performance. He knew he didn't have long. But particularly, he didn't have how long where he was going to be in good health and good shape. So one of the best performances ever given by anybody is by Freddie Mercury at Live Aid, where they, you know, all these groups, Led Zeppelin reformed for Live Aid. There's so many great groups that perform for Live Aid, but nobody talks about them. They only talk about Freddie Mercury and Queen at Live Aid. Mm-hmm. He stole the show. In this concert, you know, raising money for, was it Africa, you know. Yeah. Freddie Mercury, one of the best singers there ever was, because the big old teeth and the lips and that, you know, and of course, God. Let's name the songs here. Bohemian Rhapsody, of course. I named that, you know, be as above as the devil put aside for me, for me. Another one, Bites the Dust. Killer Queen, Fat Bottom Girls, Bicycle Race, You're My Best Friend, Don't Stop Me Now, Save Me, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Somebody to Love, Now I'm Here, Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy, Play the Game, Flash. That's the song from the movie Flash. Flash,
Yep.
Play the Game, Flash, Seven Seas of Rye, and it we will rock you. Boom, boom.
Well, Queen, my gosh, that band could just take you with the music alone.
Then, you know, of course, the last one I'll name here is We Are the Champions.
Yeah. That's been a lot of theme songs, hasn't it?
We are the champions.
Didn't Adam Lambert join them as a singer now?
I think so. That makes sense that he would. You know, I think so. He did some concerts with them.
I think he did. Yeah. I think he's now.
One of the best groups there ever was. One of the best singers, Freddie Mercury, just as a performer.
Yeah.
Just an amazing performer. And but yeah, go look that up. Go look up his Live Aid performance, and just tell me, well, that's one of the best. That's one of the best things I've ever seen.
I just now got a message from Jake. It just come through. I'm like, oh, okay. I hadn't answered him yet. I will afterwards, you know.
But yeah, if you're watching this, Jake, we watch this later. That's the plan, is to join you, I guess, Sunday.
Yeah, I can make my list pretty quick and be ready.
Let me know what movies you're going to be talking about, because I might be some of them I've never seen. But
yeah,
we can talk. We can talk regardless. We can talk. So
yeah, we have fun anyway with you.
And of course, Queen. Got to bring up Queen. So.
Well, yeah. Are you kidding me?
Queen. So who are you going to bring up?
I'm going to bring up something some people might never heard of. It's a little old band called Little Texas. And when my granddaughter was 4, I bought this CD, and I was playing it quite a bit in my car. She and I was running buddies, so we would go places and do things together. And let's see when it 1995, but a bunch of these come out in the 90s, you know. But the song most people, if anybody knows anything about country, which let's see, if you don't like a little country, we can't be friends, okay? Is God Bless Texas with his own hand. God bless Texas. Some guys have all the love, you and forever and me. And here's the one that my granddaughter's 9 now, Dorothy, but when she was 4 and we were running around together quite a bit, picking up things. I had an eBay shop, so we'd pick up stuff together. Amy's Back in Austin. And she loved that song. And you know, that little stinker learned that whole song and she could verbatim this song. And it's just basically a love song, you know, a love story that went bad. And the boys wondering if Amy's back in Austin working at La Zona Rosa Cafe. You know, he's apologizing. They moved, I think, to California. He's apologizing to her and wanting her back. Sorry, guys. What Might Have Been is number 5. 6 is First Time for Everything. I love that song. That's another post-divorce song that helped me through. Like, he never went out, he never partied, never did anything, he never stayed out all night, never took a stranger home. But there's a first time for everything since she's been gone. Kick a Little, My Love, Life Goes On, Peaceful, Easy Feeling, I'd Rather Miss You, Country Crazy. Now, God Bless Texas is almost like an anthem for Texas. So if you haven't heard, or never, if you like any country at all, which there's already a lot of crossovers, okay? Little Texas, okay? Yeah.
I think I've heard of them. I don't know if I've heard of the song.
God Bless Texas with His Own Hand. It's really good. I mean, it's something you could dance to. I mean, it's not, too mellow, but, I like it a lot. Okay, your turn.
Well, here's another one that if we're going to talk big, one of the, talking country, but one of the best. And the way he introduced himself, he said simply, "Hello, my name is Johnny Cash."
Oh, yeah.
And that's how he opened every concert.
My daughter is a big Johnny Cash fan.
That's how he opened every concert. "Hello, my name is Johnny Cash."
Yeah.
He just told it like it is. That's who he is. "Hello, my name is Johnny Cash." And just those simple words would send people into hysterics. I mean, he could screams and just,
He had such a, I don't know, a dynamic voice.
Like a baritone, deep voice.
Yes, but smooth.
But great music. And of course, I'll name some songs. And when I'm naming the songs, they'll be ding, 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 ding. I Walk the Line because you're mine.
Yeah.
I walk the line. Let's see. Guess Things Happen That Way. I love that song. What Do I Care? Don't Take Your Guns to Town. And it burns, the ring of fire.
Is a boy named Sue on there?
I'm sure it is. Understand Your Man. Folsom Prison Blues. And there's a great concert he did.
Yeah.
Where he sang in a prison. And I forget, is Folsom Prison? Might be Folsom Prison.
I think he was actually in Folsom Prison.
Yeah, but anyway, he performed. That's a great concert.
Once he got out,
he put out an album of it.
Well, it's on YouTube. Where just I don't know, one song
at this prison and great music. But Folsom Prison Blues. And here it is, Boy Named Sue.
I thought that was a CD that had Boy Named Sue. Yeah.
My name is Sue, and I'm going to kill you.
And he did that song where he went and he worked at this car factory, and he would go and he would put in his lunchbox different parts for different vehicles, and he put them all together and made him a car. He said, "Well, what kind of car you got?" "Well, I got a 41, 42, 43, 45, 46, 40,
And talk about, like I say, great music. And then the Sunday Morning Coming Down. And let's see, Riders in the Sky, which
that gave me chills. Yeah.
And Highwaymen, which he sang with Welling Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson.
That was a good album. I had that album.
Highwaymen. But anyway, Johnny Cash. There's hardly any, as far as country music, there's hardly any better than Johnny Cash. And talk about a love story. Him and June Carter, who he was with to the very end until she passed away.
Yeah.
And he passed away maybe a year or two after that.
That happens a lot when couples pass.
Talk about a love story. Him and June Carter Cash. They sang together. They started out singing together. She was a singer too, June Carter Cash.
With her
But-
family. The Carters. Yeah.
The
she sure
Carters,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, talk about just like a love story. And Johnny Cash put out albums well up into even the 2000s. I forget what year he passed away.
Yeah.
It was early 2000s, I think. But anyway, his version of Nine Inch Nails Hurt. That, I hurt myself today
Mhm.
to see if I still feel. Johnny Cash's version of Hurt by Nine Inch Nails or Trent Reznor, which basically that song became Johnny Cash's song. It started out as the Nine Inch Nails song. When Johnny Cash got through with it, it was a Johnny Cash song. And if you hear the song "Hurt," you're going to attribute it to Johnny Cash. You're not going to attribute it to Nine Inch Nails. He owns that song. And that deep, because he was so old then, but that deep, deep voice. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. And the video for that is just devastating. It'll just make you weep openly because he's so old and he's singing that. And you see June Carter, she's so old, and oh man, it's just devastating. And his version of that song is just, it just rips your heart.
At the time, he was right up there with George Jones, Hank Williams. So let's do that. Let's take it on here. I got country legends. Okay, should have been a cowboy. Toby Keith, Conway Twitty. Hello, darling.
Yeah.
Patsy Cline, and in fact, I got an absolute one of hers CDs right here. Patsy Cline. I fall to pieces.
I fall to pieces.
I'm sorry. That was just cute. Roger Miller, King of the Road. Remember that? 2 boxcars, midnight train. Farron Young. Hello, Walls. Dee-doo, dee-doo. Charlie Pride, Kiss an Angel, Good Morning. When I was 15, my boyfriend was in a band with his uncle, and he hated being in a band with him. But boy, buddy could sing, and he sang "Kiss an Angel, Good Morning" to me one time at a dance, and that was Hank Williams with his Drifting Cowboys. Okay, Ray Price, Crazy Arms, Bill Anderson, Still. Loretta Lynn, my daddy's favorite woman singer of all time is Loretta Lynn. Don't come home a drinking with loving on your mind.
Loving on your mind. Yeah, and of course that's another lots of great songs by Loretta Lynn. And
yeah, Daddy loved him some Loretta Lynn. He said, "That's my gal."
and Sissy Spacek won Best Actress for Coal Miner's Daughter.
Yeah. She can sing. She wanted to be a singer.
Even if you don't think you like country music and you haven't seen Coal Miner's Daughter, well, you got to see it. Got to see Sissy Spacek's performance. But yeah,
it's
Coal
phenomenal. Yeah. Freddie Fender, Before the Next Teardrop Falls. George Jones, White Lightning. The Kendalls, Have Us, Just Us in a Way. I'm not doing them all. Jack Green with an E at the end. There goes my everything. Webb Pierce, In the Jailhouse Now. And then Hank Williams will round it up, You're Cheating Hard. Now, our mother, when my daddy used to roughneck, when I was born, he was working off at the drilling rigs and we come home, to visit. That's how I got here. Anyway, my mama worked at a cafe. She's a little bit skinny thing at the time, and she worked at this cafe in East Texas. Well, this cafe in East Texas was where Hank Williams would come and eat a big old meal, drunker than Cooter Brown, Mama said, before he would drive across the border, because they were real close to Louisiana, to play a radio show called Louisiana Hayride. Okay? Mama
That's what I
said,
was about to bring up the Louisiana Hayride because I remember Daddy and Mama talking about the Louisiana Hayride.
well, they'd listen to it together a lot, right? But Mama said Hank drove it's gold Cadillac, and he'd come. The cook could see out the window because he's taller than Mama, and said, "Oh, here comes Hank." And Mama said, "Always on a Friday," because it was Friday night when he
Right.
did it, and they lived about 10 miles from my parents, you know. And Mama would say, "Oh Lord," and because he was so drunk, y'all, he would come into this. It is all gravel road back in the day, and he'd come in the driveway, and he'd start skidding. Instead of parking straight in a parking, he'd always be sideways, almost to the front door. So
And you
Mama,
think that imagining one of the greatest singers of all time, Hank Williams.
and yeah, and Mama would say, "Oh," and Mama said one thing good about it: the cook was a retired uh, Marine, big old guy, you know. And he said, "Oh," he said, they called Mama Prissy. He said, "Prissy, I'll go drag him in." So he went out there to drag him in. And unless Mama he'd open the door and, "Come on, Hanky, we need to get you some food." He always had a big old sirloin steak, baked potato, and a little baby salad. And Mama said, he wouldn't get out of the car though. You know, he'd pull on it, big old tall, skinny man. Pull on Hank, unless Prissy told him, "Come on, it's time to go eat." So Mama'd have to go outside all kinds of weather, go outside to the car, little old, 5'2", and say, "Come on, Hank, it's time to eat." And, "Oh, okay, Prissy." And then he'd let the cook drag him in. But Mama told me that story many times coming up. And she said, "Listen, we liked his singing all right." But she said once he got sober after he ate, just the sweetest thing, and tipped good. Mama said he was making a little money on his records. And she said, but there's time or two we'd have to call his wife. Listen, we can't get him out of the car. And if the big old cook was day off, they couldn't get him out of the car without her talking to him. So she'd drive up there with Hank Jr. on her hip, little baby, and say, "Hank, you got to get out of the."
You can imagine the people out there that of course, most people grew up with Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah.
But to think of him walking in with him as a baby, Hank Jr. as a baby, and just the original Hank Williams, "You're Cheating Heart."
Yeah.
So many songs that Hank Williams made famous. He was kind of before even Elvis.
Honky tonkin'.
He was one that could go on stage and have women screaming and making
honky tonkin'.
Yeah. But "You're Cheating Heart," some of the songs. And you brought up George Jones a few times. Here's another one to look up. If you haven't heard it, "She Stopped Loving Her Today." He stopped loving her.
He stopped loving her. Yeah.
He stopped loving her today.
I know she's going to bring it around.
And if you listen to that, you will bawl like a baby when you finish hearing "He Stopped Loving Her Today." George Jones. That's another great one. But
They put a reef on his door. Was it his door or her door?
Yeah. Stopped loving her today. Let's see. I'm skipping around here, but I'm trying to, because there's something because we're definitely going to do a part 3 of this.
You think so?
Yeah, we'll do a part 3, maybe even a part 4, but we're going to do
I thought you were going to tell me that's it. This is it. Well, let me tell you.
No, we'll do at least a part 3. I don't know if it'll be the next show we do. It may be, but we're going to do at least.
I ordered it. It won't be until July 2nd. And I ordered it about a week and a half ago. And it's a 4-disc 1970s compilation of all different artists. I can't wait to get it in. I want to hear it. But I thought, I could use some of that too then.
But this is one I think that the first time I heard these, but I didn't make the same connection when I heard this song in the early 80s. But there's a great song, "The Sultans of Swing." We are the Sultans of Swing.
Yeah, I like that.
And I didn't, because when I heard this song with this great guitar that comes in, and it's Money for Nothing. Uh, anyway, Dire Straits.
Money for Nothing and the Chicks Are Free.
Yeah.
That's
And
fine.
the chicks free. Because I always misunderstood that. I thought he was saying checks, like you write a check. Your checks are free.
No, the Chicks Are
No.
Free.
The
They call
girls,
it
the chicks-
bands.
the chicks are
Yeah.
free. Yeah,
Yeah.
the chicks are free. And it's got the infamous F word in the song. It's not fuck. and I had never heard the version with that word in it until I asked Alexa to play the song. And she played the version with the F word in it. I said, I'll be down. She played Alexa played the original version. Now, that's not a word I'm going to throw around. I'm not even going to say it.
No.
But
That's
it's the other F word. It's in Money for Nothing. But oh my God, just that tremendous guitar work. And so let's see, name some songs here. Sultans of Swing, Down to the Water Side, or Down to the, what is it? Anyway. Anyway, I'm not going to. Romeo and Juliet. Anyway, great guitar work, great music, Dire Straits.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sultans of Swing. There's the longest time that I said, well, I didn't know they did that song, Sultans of Swing, after hearing Money for Nothing,
Yeah.
because it's such a different sound. I didn't know it was the same group,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Dire Straits. Great guitar music, great rock music. Yeah. Dire Straits. And let's. Okay, here's a guy that I think the first time I heard him was on the movie Natural Born Killers. And
That is a wicked movie.
yeah, Natural Born Killers, and with Woody Harrelson and what's her name?
Was it Juliette Lewis?
Juliette Lewis.
I mean, I don't know for sure. I think that's
it's Juliette Lewis
okay.
and Woody Harrelson, and who's the guy that directed Platoon?
I don't know.
Oliver Stone directed. But anyway, it begins with this song, and it's this real deep voice, just very smoky and dark and deep voice. There's waiting for the miracle to come, and it was Leonard Cohen. And I got a compilation of his earlier stuff. And
Leonard Cohen.
Leonard Cohen.
Okay.
Cohen. Now. Anyway, he had a lot of great songs, and songs that if I were to mention, you would know, oh, okay, I've heard that song.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even know that Leonard Cohen sang them or that he wrote them, because he wrote a lot of music that other artists sang.
Yeah, he was probably a writer to begin with. Yeah.
Writer, yeah. He a lot of artists sang songs by Leonard Cohen, but he was his own artist too. And in his later years, his voice got so dark, so deep. It was almost like Tom Waits, which is another one I could bring up. One of my favorite artists, Tom Waits, who sings with that voice, that gravelly voice when he sings. Yeah. Tom Waits. But Leonard Cohen had this real dark, smoky voice. It almost sounds like a whisper when he's saying. He got where he didn't have any range at all. He had this real dark, but some great music. But anyway, Leonard Cohen. I'll bring up Leonard Cohen. But yeah, just one of my favorite solo artists, Leonard Cohen. But okay, Kathy, we got about 5 minutes. And
Good. Let's take one more pause for a memorial to Donald Sutherland. That was one of my favorite actors. I saw him in many shows.
So many,
Dirty Dozen. Oh my God! He did a lot of westerns. I just loved Not counting this mainstream stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really thought, okay, well, here's my last actor. He's not an actor, he was a singer. But yeah, that just really touched me when I saw he passed. Everybody that likes any kind of country has not heard of Merle Haggard.
Uh-huh.
They called him the Possum. Okay, so Merle Haggard, and I have about 3 of his CDs because I like Merle. One of his most famous songs is "Mama Tried," "Swinging Doors," "Sing Me Back Home." That's really pretty. "Silver Wings," and he sang this with Jewel on this CD. "Okie from Muskogee." "We don't smoke marijuana in the city." Let's see. "Fight Inside of Me." "Daddy Frank." That was real sweet. It's a song about the daddy and mama singing, and that's what they did for a living. And daddy was blind. Mama was his eyes. That's really good. "It's Not Love, but It's Not Bad." It's okay. "Everybody's Had the Blues." "If We Make It Through December." And I don't sing. I don't try to. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's see. Just a minute. There's blue clues I'm on here, but I'm just trying to pick some of the ones I like to be. Let's see. "Misery and Gin." "I Think I'll Just Sit Here and Drink." Now,
Oh, I love that song, yeah.
if you don't ever
I'll
listen,
just sit here and drink.
there you go. If you don't hear any songs at all and you want to just listen to a little bit of country, Merle Haggard, "I Think I'll Just Sit Here and Drink."
I think I'll just sit here and drink.
My favorite memory, "Poncho and Lefty."
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one
I love that
too. And he sings that with Willie Nelson.
With Willie Nelson, yeah.
Or "The Good Times Really Over." "Going Where the Lonely Go." "Let's Chase Each Other Around the Room." "A Place to Fall Apart." That "Natural High," and "Kern River." That's a pretty good one too. But "Poncho and Lefty" with Willie Nelson.
Yeah, I love that song. That song with Willie Nelson. I've got that, but I used to listen to that old MP3 player that I think finally broke on me. But it had that song with Willie Nelson, Poncho and Lefty.
And Willie Nelson is my neighbor up here. He lives right outside of Austin, has a big old ranch, and he rescues horses that are going to the slaughterhouse. He's rescued 20, 30, 40 of them, a whole bunch. He's got a bunch of horses. And they just roam his land, and he takes care of them, him and his crew and his son. But Willie has a July 4th. I don't know if he's in his 90s now, so I don't know if he's going to do it this year. But always had a July 4th picnic here in Austin, right? Which is about 25 miles from where I live right now. But anyway, been to it a few times, but it's July 4th. It's so hot that my health can't hold up to it, so I don't dare try to go again. But one thing nice about the local TV station televises it during it's going on, so that's nice. That helps. One more honorable mention, and then I'll be done for tonight, Jay. I found my Eric Clapton Timepieces CD. "I Shot the Sheriff."
Yeah.
But I didn't shoot the deputy. Okay.
Didn't shoot the deputy.
"After Midnight." "We're going to Let It All Hang Out." "Knocking on Heaven's Door." "Layla." "Cocaine."
Oh, I love that song. I love cocaine. I love the song "Cocaine." I don't like cocaine, but I like the
No,
song.
never done cocaine. Never done them kind of drugs. Okay. "Lay Down, Sally." "Rest You in My Arms." "Willie and the Hand Jive." "Promises," "Swing Low," "Sweet Chariot," "Let It Grow." And this is the CD. It came out in 1982. I gave my daddy the cassette of this CD. And he listened to "After Midnight." We're going, it slows down. He says, "I like that fella."
Yeah.
This is Waylon's picture. "I like that fella, sis, but I like his picking better than his singing." Okay, that was fun.
Well, now stick with me here.
I
Folks,
know what
the last thing I bring up about Donald Sutherland, that of course horror movie fans out there, his performance in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and one of the greatest endings of a horror movie ever is him. He's got that scream and pointing at the camera. Because he's turned, when you find out he's turned, oh fuck, he's turned, oh no, he points at the camera. Donald Sutherland, yeah, that was a big loss to lose Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, it just really did touch me. I'm thinking, oh,
well, so many great performances, like I say, and in MASH, and was it Dirty Dozen, and yeah.
I mean, folks, here's what I don't want to happen. I am getting up there, right? I don't want to die, Jay, someday, and somebody goes, oh, look, she's 81. Wonder what she died of. Old age. I'm old. I'm going to die. I can't live forever. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
And of course, his son, Kiefer, is a big actor, a big famous actor.
I like Kiefer Sutherland. I like 24. I wouldn't have watched it if you hadn't said watch it.
And I like 24. I
got hooked on it.
Yeah. I think the first couple of seasons, first 2 or 3 seasons of 24 are really good. But of course, Lost Boys and, really good stuff. Kiefer Sutherland. But anyway, and here's the last thing I'll show, since Kathy brought up the legendary Hank Williams, who used to get drunk and go eat at the restaurant my mother worked at.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's
what greatest hits, is that what that is?
Greatest hits. And so let's name some. Say, you're cheating heart, you're cheating heart. Moving on over. I'm so lonesome I could cry.
Yeah.
Rambling man, my heart would know. Caliga, cold heart. Lovesick blues, honky tonk blues, honky talking. There'll be no teardrops tonight. Mind your own business. Jambalaya. We'll have big fun on the bayou.
Yep, I always like that. Yeah.
Wedding bells. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? Window shopping. Setting the woods on fire. I can't help it if I'm
still in love with you.
That's another great song. I love that song.
I do too. It's beautiful.
If you love me half as much as I love you,
yeah,
wouldn't worry me half as much as you do. Why don't you love me like you used to do? Why don't you treat me like I want you? You win again. May you never be alone. Baby, we're really in love. And take these chains from my heart. Another great song. But anyway, Hank Williams.
Hank Williams. Love us.
My mother used to kick it with Hank Williams.
Yeah, she did. In fact, she told me. She told me, well, it was a good 15 years before she passed. But she said, listen, when I pass, let them know I know somebody. I said, you knew me, Mama. She said, I know. And I know your brother and your daddy too, but she said he was a big part of my working years, because I didn't work at that restaurant but about 5 years while your daddy was working for the oil field. And I told him, listen, you're either going to have to come home on leave and get me pregnant, or you're going to have to find another job. And so he come home on leave and got her pregnant. But anyway. And then he said, now, you don't got to work, Fannie Mae, if you don't want to. She said, what am I going to do? Yeah, I like working at the cafe. And she said, plus it was my spending money. That's when they'd buy them hose with the lines up the back. She said, them hoses was expensive, but we needed them. I said, okay, Mama. I'll be sure and tell folks you knew Hank. She said, yeah, I just did know him. And she said, he tipped good,
And you can tell me if I'm wrong about this, because I want to say either Mama or Daddy said at one of the concerts, Louisiana Hayride, Elvis was there.
Yeah, he was there quite often, actually. Yeah.
That they saw Elvis. They saw Elvis way before he was famous, when he was,
right. He was a GI stationed in Killeen, Texas, at Fort Hood.
Huh.
when he got to go, he had a furlough, and he went down and checked out Louisiana Hayride, and then went to see his mom after the show. See, they'd set up a stage, and you could drive down there, but Daddy said you had to sit in your car, or you can get out and sit on your car. But they didn't. It wasn't no. It was just a big old stage, and they had it in kind of a concave building they built around it, and it was a radio show, is what it was. But you could go watch them live if you wanted to.
Huh.
But he said there's certain times you had to be there because they had these big old, it was, wooden around big old gates. They closed because you couldn't have the car noises. Couldn't have nobody drive, no motors, and you had to wait till the show was completely over before you could leave. Now they had a concession stand and stuff, and they'd tell you if you get out of your car, you close your door real quiet or we'll make you leave. I'm thinking, how could they? Because they'd have to start the car, but whatever. But anyway, Mama said, we enjoyed them shows so much. Me and your daddy go every chance we get. And they lived like about 40 miles, like from you to Waco, to where they had this Louisiana Hayride radio show set up. Anyway, there you go.
Well, cool. Just to be able to witness, to see Elvis and of course Hank Williams, and just to serve Hank Williams at this, cafe, and just, like
she said his wife was always real sweet to her, but boy, she'd get right in his face, and she said she wasn't big as a minute either, honey. She's little, and she'd say, "Now you listen to me. You got to go over there and make some money." Oh, they're about to talk about Alien 3 and Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu at Dead Pit.
Yeah. Well, I will wind this up then. This has been another good one. We'll definitely do another one of these because, like I say, this is just, we can fill up another couple hours real easy with talk about music.
I can't wait till those CDs come in because I just want to play them. And I thought, ooh, I can mention some of that
I've
music.
got to get me a CD player. I got to get a record player and I got to get a CD player.
I got a little round, a little round Magnavox. It's all I got, and it plays mighty fine.
Yeah. Well, I need to get me one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, sis.
Thank you.
Thank you, sis. And as I always, and Kathy will remind me about this, if you're watching this, if you like what you're seeing, please give us a thumbs up. That helps us get seen. It helps us get more subscribers. It helps us get out there. If you can share what you see, and if you like it, spread the word. Let other people know about being real and what you're seeing.
And if you ever want to join, Jace.
Yeah. Because I would definitely like to get more new subscribers, more people checking this show out. And but anyway, thank you, sis. Thank you, everyone that has commented and watched. And we'll see y'all again soon. We'll definitely do a part 3 music. I don't know if that'll be the next show we do, but we'll definitely be more music talk. So
y'all take care. Drink lots of water. Bye.
Yeah, hydrate yourself. Good night, everybody. Good night, sis.